We are back with another episode of the Big Miller Basketball Show. I'm Nick Winger, joined here with Vic. Another night of the state tournament recaps. We're going to change it up just a little bit tonight, maybe shrink the recaps and preview the semifinal games that we're going to have. There's a lot of good basketball that was going around, and we can't wait to dive right into it.
Yeah, most definitely. Well put. Welcome back, everybody. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate all the support and all of the feedback as well. What's going on, Nick? Let's get to it, bro.
Yeah. Let's just dive right into it. Marion and Greenbrier. I feel like this went about the way we kind of expected it to. Marion's just really good.
Greenbrier put in the fight early. Obviously, Marion cruised through the finish line second half. Big play by Chandler Randall kind of sent a spark, and they never looked back.
We can switch on over to the 4A. We have Fountain Lake and Shiloh to kick off the boy action over there. This was a pretty good game.
It was Dylan Ditmer went for 30 in the loss. His last game, he went out like a champ. Shiloh Christian has just been a tough squad all season long. I read, and I don't know how true it is. I read a fan's comment, I think on one of the live streams, that said Joby Butler from Shiloh Christian got an offer from UCA, so that might be worth kind of looking into to fact check. That would be big for him, obviously, if so. But congrats to Shiloh Christian. Duke Bowman's putting on for sure, running through his senior season pretty strong into the Final Four.
Yeah, Duke had 19 points. Shout out to Kayla on the stats. Newport and Subiaco. I think you were at this game, correct?
Yes, sir. Very, very good game. That was a pretty intense, pretty packed game. Travaris Hardaway, the sophomore, once again, just shouting out my guy. He played his tail off. Really got in there, made him work hard. Justin Russell was also a factor in this game. His size was a bit much for Subiaco. They couldn't get anything going late, and Newport got a good, tough win.
Clarendon edged out a close one against County Line. This was a big one. This is one we kind of had circled that we were kind of looking at in our preview shows, I think. What are your thoughts here? Any surprises?
Yeah, no, Clarendon, like I say, they're kind of a mystery for a lot of people. I know a few guys on that team, and like I say, haven't been able to check on them much here recently. But that's somebody that I need to put my eyes on here as they kind of make their way towards High Springs. It's looking like.
This was a big shocker to me. Not so much that that Barton isn't good enough to do this, but I kind of expected more from Woodlawn to kind of carry over their momentum they had. What are your thoughts here? The 30-point victory for Barton.
Yeah, I think maybe they were just very tired from that game before, probably. Barton's obviously a lot to handle as well, especially once they start pressing and the pressure gets up on you. They make it a tough game for you. So I think that what was, the biggest problem probably for Woodlawn. I caught the back half of this game when they were already up pretty big. And so congrats to Barton moving on to the Final Four, still fighting strong.
Ozark and Magnolia was kind of a sneaky game. Cooper Durr for Ozark had a great game. I was there. He had 25 points. I think he was 6 of 10 from three. He was doing it all for Ozark. 25 points of your 45 says enough. But I mean, he was hitting tough shots time and time again. Magnolia was just too much, and Cooper just didn't quite have enough help today. But Magnolia and Mills will be a fun one. We'll talk more about that in a little bit.
Yeah, great supporting cast over there for Magnolia, helping get the job done. Coach Wade's done a great job developing those guys, and we see it showing up here in these playoffs.
Greene County Tech and Benton was one that I think a lot of people had circled as maybe that Cinderella upset game, and another one seed moves on in that 4A or 5A. So nothing but one seeds in the 5A.
Yeah, Greene County Tech tried to make a few strides, and it just was never enough to kind of. I don't think maybe it was necessarily strides, but they weren't getting the stops when they got the strides. They were just kind of trying to match bucket for bucket, and that wasn't going to work with this powerful young Benton squad.
Earl and
Looking forward to
Bradford.
that. I was about to say, looking forward to that Final Four matchup, though. We'll talk about it here in a second.
Earl and Bradford. I think Earl was just too much for him.
Yeah, definitely. Very, very much so the story of the game. It was never really a game. They came out very early, hot, and never looked back at all from the first quarter all the way through wire to wire.
Sloan Hendricks and Hector. I saw some highlights on social media about
this was a game. Sloan Hendricks battled, man. Sloan Hendricks battled back to get in this game. They were down quite sizably. and clawed all the way back through the third, all the way to the very last, minute and a half, 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, to clutch out the win. Hector was dominant in the beginning of this game. And it just looks like they kind of ran out of gas late. Sloan Hendricks was able to get a very good win behind Hudson Rorix.
Paris and Rivercrest. Rivercrest moves on. Another team in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, I was also at this game. Rivercrest played really well. They came out and were down 8-0, and they never looked shook. They were like, "Man, come on, we just not getting our shots. Things aren't falling our way. Whatever, not necessary excuse, but as a basketball player, you have to have that understanding of like, hey, they made their run. Now it's time for us to go make ours. Forget everything else that happened already. Let's look forward to the rest of the game." And Rivercrest kind of just made that their stamp for the whole entire game. Every time Paris tried to make a push, Rivercrest just kind of came back a little bit harder, a little bit tougher. It was behind the hands of Jaden Young and Buda Harris. Great game from those two big scoring outputs, kind of willing their team. Two-man show there almost. Great two-man game. Man, I think they're going to be tough. Like, we'll see this matchup tomorrow night between Rivercrest and Osceola. And if you know anything about that, the two schools are literally 10 miles apart. And so this is a huge rivalry game for Northeast Arkansas. Be great to see, no matter who wins, that Northeast Arkansas is getting somebody to go on to Hot Springs for a chance to take it all.
In the 6A, we had Bryant and Conway. I think, and maybe you feel differently about this, but it feels like, based off the way the score looks, I didn't see much of the game. Bryant had a scare against Conway late in the season, and I think it might have opened their eyes to the possibility of not making it to Hot Springs, and they put it on them today.
Yeah, I tuned into this game early on and realized that it was going to get out of hand pretty quickly. RJ Young had a big highlight play. I'm pretty sure a lot of people saw it floating around already. Man, Bryant's back in championship form. Coach A's got them ready. Postseason play is what they do. If you know anything about the Hornets, especially if they're on their home floor, they are the definition of tough. And so you come over there, you're gonna have to bring it. I don't know if they'll be slowed down. We shall see. We'll talk about that here in a second as well.
Parkview and West Memphis. This was one that I was kind of interested in. The way West Memphis has been playing to end the season, they were hot at the right time. They just didn't quite have enough, and this was kind of a score. I'm gonna give you some flowers here, Vic. The last couple, I guess, weeks, you kind of alluded to West Memphis maybe not having enough offense in this game, and I think you were obviously right. 46 points was about their average points they scored this year, and Parkview probably averaged about 73. So your point averages for the season it held true here for sure.
No, 100% appreciate the shout out there as well. West Memphis actually made this a game close in the first half, and right at the end of the first half, Jacob Lanier, and it's somebody that I kind of want to shine on for just a second. I know we've done a lot of talk about Parkview as a team, and we kind of haven't, or myself for sure, I haven't really just sat down and spoke about the player that that Jacob Lanier is himself. And man, it's great to see the young man come back and thrive the way that he has, moving out of state, going the prep route, learning some things, getting some tools under his belt there, making the right type of connections, right, doing it the right way, and then coming back home and really caring about the program and the boys that are around him and making things happen and wanting to win really bad. And then also being a spirited and efforted player on both sides of the ball, no matter what the situation is, no matter if they were losing a game, if they were playing a very lopsided game of, like I said, where they were winning big, his effort never failed, just great to see like a kid like that that's so locked in at all times, to take his craft so serious. So big flowers to Jacob Lanier there, the Nebraska signee who we'll see out there with the Cornhuskers and Coach Fred Hoiberg next season.
Yeah, Jacob has been a guy that I've been a fan of for a while, and it's been cool to see the evolution of his game. I remember when he was a freshman at Maumelle, and he was the super scrawny kid that everybody thought had potential, and now you see the potential kind of coming to light. So it's really refreshing to see how his path started to go, going the prep route and then coming home and, solidifying his legacy, I guess is the right word to use there.
For sure, as far as a high school athlete here in
Yeah.
Arkansas, 100% can agree with that. And then, like, I mean, it's only the tip of the iceberg, man. So much more to come.
This Mills Blyville game was incredible. I was at this one. Uh, Jakiron Madden was great, right? Jameer Guyton kind of got in foul trouble kind of early. He still had a great game. I think Jameer had like 20 and 7 or something like that. But Jakiron Madden, I have the stats here: 27 points, 4 rebounds, 3 steals. Anytime they needed a big bucket, he was there. He just a couple at the end didn't quite fall, and Mills held on. Their defense was special. I was looking for highlights to post, and it felt like I didn't have that many clips, to tell you the truth, of their points, and it felt like they scratched and clawed 60 points out. And I'm looking here at the stats Kayla had. They had five play. Well, I mean, Hester had 13, Curry had 13, AJ had 11, Marshall Walls had 9, Trey Rhodes had 7, Vance had 5. It was just it was very spread out. It was really cool to see how their depth came in to play here, and their defense was awesome. This felt like a state final game. The atmosphere, the coaching, the athletes on both sides. It was a super fun game to be at in Morrilton at the 4A. Vic, you there? We may have lost Vic. So, I, Vic, you there? Vic, you back?
Yo,
Back.
yo, yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
No, we're good. We're good.
So,
I touched on Mills and Blyville. If you have anything to add, I don't know when I lost you on that one.
no, for sure. I heard everything up until the energy and the atmosphere of the arena, and that's something that even through the screen that I could pick up right as I was watching the game. So I'll just pick up right where you left off. My bad.
No, you're good.
Um, man, it was an electric atmosphere. Like you hear the two sides of the crowd cheering every time they get a bucket. You hear the and then you hear and then you hear right. So very, very great atmosphere there. Obviously, like you said, but more than anything, I want to kind of talk about some specifics in this game. Just my little analysis, right, of what I saw. Blyville could have won this game. I mean, there's always a hindsight's 2020, and there's always a thousand things you could say. Oh, so and so hit this shot, or so and so got this steal and did this, blah blah blah. Right, so and so could have went right. But free throws were the major key for Blyville in this one, missing so many and only having it be a 2 point game, right, a one possession game. And they even had the ball, down the stretch there at the end to have a chance to possibly win it as well. And so you look at a few keys that obviously helped them fight back into this game because they were down. Um, it was the 2-3 zone, right?
Mm-hmm.
We hear a lot of teams and a lot of guys at this stage say, we'll just shoot a 2-3 zone out. We know how to shoot. We're shooters, right? But it did not work for the shooters of Mills to the extent that they had hoped, right? It let Blyville get a chance to claw their way back into this game. And then Coach Coop got the troops settled down, right? Got the
Mm-hmm.
offense right, got something clicking, got something working to where the ball was getting to the middle inside. And that's exactly what you were alluding to is how they were scrapping and clawing their way. Not very just highlight worthy buckets sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not the best looking buckets, but the ones that counted, the ones that mattered the most.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and give Jacob Lanier some more flowers. His stats just came out. Wink posted them. He had 35 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists. I knew he had a good game. I didn't quite realize it was to that extent.
Yeah, I
Big
didn't, like I said, I didn't have a number in front of me at all, but I knew he went crazy tonight. The impact of the game just from watching it, it felt like a 30-point game.
Mount Vernon and NOLA and Izard County. Mount Vernon just keeps rolling.
Yeah, they came out really big in this game. I want to say 20-2. I'm like 1,000. It might have been 22-2. I'm like 1,000% sure. Came out rolling in this game, steamrolling. It's going to be hard to cool them off.
Yeah. Dermont and Jasper. This was a game whenever we were just kind of briefly going through it. You were kind of surprised at the score. Tell me why.
Yeah, Dermot entered this fourth quarter with 15 points. So what a heck of a battle for Coach Roy Marshall and the Rams to go out swinging. Jasper was just too much in the beginning, and they held strong through the end of the stretch of the fourth quarter. when Dermott went to make that run. Moving on to the next round for the Pirates.
Yep. Osceola, you kind of mentioned it earlier. Their game coming up is gonna be pretty fun tomorrow night. But tell me about this tonight.
Yeah, once again, defense. Holding teams under 40 points is going to get you a win a lot of the times here in high school basketball. That's exactly what we have classic example of here. Providence Academy. This was also one of those style matchup games where it didn't very much fare well in their favor. Osceola's athletes just running, jumping, running, jumping, running, jumping, relentless all 4 quarters. And obviously, we see them get to the win here.
Finally, on the boys' side, we have Jonesboro and Fayetteville. It hurt not having Leighton Weaver, huh?
It did very much so, especially in the fact that Kenyon Johnson played great defense guarding BJ Knowlton for this game. Did an outstanding job, kind of limiting BJ's looks or clean looks at that. BJ had a rough game, dealing with a lot of contact, trying to fight off that and still, make a play. They did not make it easy for him. And then the size was definitely an issue. The actual standout from this game, most people probably would have thought DJ Hudson when I said the size, right? But it was actually the youngster, Mitch Kirkland, who kept things going from beginning to the end of this game. Just staying active, finding ways to move, into space, nice seals around the rim for his guys to go finish up, playing the dunker spot, what I'm saying, getting in, catching the dunk ins, very active hands. Just played great, man. Like I say, they sent a lot of shots back at the rim as a team, and so it did not help Jonesboro at all tonight. They were not very effective from behind the three-point line either, and so none of the kind of keys that I thought that they would need to win went in their favor. And now we see the end of their season come as Fayetteville moves on. But I think I said yesterday as well about Fayetteville, watch out. You know what I'm saying? Just keep your eyes open. The only team alive in the West for 6A right now, and so they're just looking to stay rolling.
Yeah, you mentioned that, and it is kind of interesting to see the 6A West do so poorly. Honestly, the boys we talked about it. At some point in these shows, we've said everything we can say about different things, but it is cool to see, or nice to see, I guess I should say, to see a West team stay alive and have someone representing in the semifinals.
Right.
Um,
If there's a Cinderella of the state, I mean, you can kind of just because, right?
yeah, yeah. Wow, I didn't realize this until just now. This is kind of some live reactions, but I just realized Barton lost.
Yep.
Wow.
So I caught a few seconds of this game, and it ended up, like I say, being the last few seconds of this game. Sloan Hendricks made a little battle late, just like they did with the boys' game, and pulled off the win.
Nice.
Very,
That's a
very. I
tough
mean,
way
I
to
don't know if you
see.
would necessarily say such an upset, but maybe from a talent standpoint, you look at the star that Barton has,
Yeah,
and you're like, man, I didn't want to see her go home. So maybe an upset feel in that way, but
yeah.
definitely a great win by Sloan.
Kind of feels the same way it felt last night when we talked about Little Rock Christian. Honestly, such a memorable high school career, closing with Demai Wilson.
Exactly.
We got Robinson and Shiloh Christian, the freshman trio, or I guess is it a trio or is it? Yeah, I think it's three of them. They got it done today. I think this is maybe an upset. I don't know.
In some people's eyes, for sure. I know a lot of people on their brackets, especially some of the other media guys here in the state, have Shiloh Christian pick to win this game, even go all the way. And so definitely, probably a bracket buster of sorts for a lot of people.
Greenbrier and Green County Tech went about the same way we expected. Anything to add to that?
Good game, man. Green County Tech, Golden Eagle girls moving on, man. Northeast Arkansas basketball once again kind of just came out, put the foot on the gas, and never looked back.
I don't want to pour too much salt in the wounds for Augusta, but they were just outmatched. I don't know if there's
Yep.
much else to say about that. Dumas and Greenland. Dumas girls go down.
Yep, they fought hard. Great coaching by Coach Barton over there once again. Greenland was actually just too much. They were just outmatched, outmanned. Every time they thought they had them figured out, they didn't. Good fight late.
Dirks is still rolling.
Rolling hard, rolling heavy. Like I say, you that 76 points tells you something. I'm gonna say it
Yeah,
again. They put up 70.
and when you hold them under 40. South side of Nashville. This was a great game. I caught the end of it when I was walking into the gym. Um, Yeah, I think Nashville was a team that a lot of people thought would maybe be in Hot Springs, and yeah, this was a huge upset. I think.
100%. I agree with you there. I did not. I didn't expect to be such a shootout. I didn't think it would get up in the 60s. So that was one thing that kind of stood out to me for sure. Good game on both sides of the ball there.
We'll keep the upset trend going. Nettleton knocked off one seed Lake Hamilton. Lake Hamilton had an unbelievable season, but the three at the horn did it for Nettleton.
Nettleton girls, man, Raiders, Lady Raiders winning on the step back three at the horn to win it, man. It was so I don't know, like when I say shocking more so, but it was more so like the entire play, the set, the action, the fact that you just left wide open. I was like, God, that's tough, Cash.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't ask for a better scenario, man. Stay playoff time.
Yeah, Earl and Lafayette County. It was just another story of being a little outmatched, but we'll kind of keep moving on from that one and get to another really good game. Episcopal and McGee. Episcopal goes home.
Yeah, I was in the building for this one as well. This was a battle. They were back and forth late in the game. McGee actually just got the stops they needed, got a nice fadeaway jumper from their starting guard, and that kind of dealt the final blow. This game went to overtime. This game went to overtime,
Hmm. They
right?
didn't leave it. They left it off on SB Live, I guess.
Yeah, this
Uh,
game went to overtime because right at the buzzer, McGee had a chance to win. She shoots a layup and overshoots it. This game went to overtime. And so yeah, this was quite the game. Yeah, yeah. I know I saw an overtime game today. That was it.
we had North Little Rock and Fayetteville. Charging Wildcats charge on. They're in the semis.
Most definitely, boys and girls, man. The Wildcats charge on, living strong.
Something about Dogtown, man. uh, Pulaski County in Forest City. This was one I was at, and I was really looking forward to this one. This was probably one of my most look forward to games for the day. It was one that a lot of people weren't sure if Greenlee was going to play. She did. I heard reports that she was maybe 60%, maybe, and she looked good tonight. And if she plays like this again tomorrow, I like their chances. When Greenlee plays like this, there's nothing you can do really. I mean, she is a really good player. Becky Yarborough she put on a coaching clinic. There's nothing else to really say about that. They were able to contain Forest City's best player and Randy Stewart, one of the Hutcherson twins, and Greenlee. They just got it done for the Bruins.
Yeah, it was kind of an underwhelming performance for the Lady Stangs, but I mean, it's just back to the drawing board. Time to get better off season, and back to it next year.
Yeah, a disappointing end to a great regular season for Forest City. Oh wow, Riverside lost, but I mean, you called it last night. Quitman, you said last night, watch out for Quitman, and they must
Whitman,
not have got
man,
your name.
they're tough. They are tough.
You have anything to add for that, or do you want to move on to Mountain Home and Valonia? There's another upset there.
No, I mean that one kind of speaks for itself. It goes with my mantra. Like these next three games, or three of these four next games, go exactly what I say. You don't score over 40 points, you probably don't win the game.
Yeah, they all kind of score about the same amount as well. Mountain Home and Valonia. This was one that kind of caught me off guard. I think it caught a lot of people off guard actually. Everybody kind of thought that bottom half of the bracket was Valonia's to lose, and obviously they lost it. Mountain Home. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I know their big post player had I think 20 rebounds, and I saw it on Twitter. Dylan Connolly. I saw his tweet about it.
No, that's a solid outing right there. Like I say, a lot of people, and myself included, I thought Valonia would be able to edge this one out. And
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of those pancake games, is what I call it. If the score were flip flopped, or if it were the other way around, I wouldn't think of it any differently. But great performance by the Bombers. Lady Bombers getting the job done, moving on.
Viola and Bradley, I guess we kind of said the same thing about Riverview and Quitman, the 40-point thing, and it applies pretty much to Mountain View and Harding Academy. Mountain View moves on. They beat Harding Academy. I've said it for a while. Mountain View's really good this year.
Yeah,
It's
they
a team to
are.
watch. It's a team to
And
watch
my
for
bad to
them.
cut you off. I was just gonna say I talked a little bit about Clare City from Harding Academy, and So games like this, right? When you have somebody that can score 30, Clear City's are capable of scoring 30 herself, and then they hold the team to 35 points itself. It speaks to the volumes of what the other team is bringing as far as intensity on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, we'll move to the final game for a recap tonight. We have Bentonville and Northside. This was a really good game. Northside got it done though.
Yeah, definitely got the job done. They're looking strong, man. Looking like a couple years ago, they might be back at it.
Yeah, we will. I guess we can go straight into their bracket. I guess it'd be only fair to kind of do them first since we're
Let's
on
do it.
that
Let's
page.
do it. Let's go,
They
ladies
have a
bracket. Let's get it.
they have a great matchup. I don't want to allude too much to it. We will get to it once we get past all the ads on SB Live. We have Harbor and Bentonville West. I'll be honest with you, man. I didn't. If whenever we were picking our brackets and whatnot, I didn't pick Bentonville West to be here.
Yeah, 3 seed. When you're on that 3 seed, you kind of are the sleeper of the group, right? You're the one that kind of gets overlooked. You're like, yeah, we'll beat them. We just got to get there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, that's the good one, right? So don't
Yeah,
go in there and lay down on them.
Harbor's really good though. It's not a team that to necessarily look over, but I mean, I don't think Harbor's lost too many games this year. So uh, I think Harbor beat them both times. I would imagine. So yeah, I think it's hard to beat a team three times, but Harbor's definitely
That's what they
capable of
say.
doing so.
It is what
This
they
is the
say.
one right here. This is the one I'm looking forward to. North Little Rock and Northside. This feels like a state championship game.
Who really reps the North? You know what I'm saying? This is the one that's
Mhm.
going to come down to who really wants it more. You got the Central one and the West too. Clash of sides. You know what I'm saying? Clash of styles at a point too as well. And so we'll see what this one comes out to.
Yeah, I am looking forward to
Is that the
that.
6 o'clock game or is that that's at 8 o'clock? I'm
That's the
blind.
six
Six
o'clock
o'clock.
game. That's the
Okay,
6 o'clock
cool.
game. Yeah. We'll go to 5A. Farmington against the World. Farmington versus Greene County Tech. It is a one versus one game. This is a state title game rematch from the year before.
Yep.
Do you
So this
think
would
Greene
be
County
really
Tech
fun
has
to see.
enough? Do you think Greene County Tech has enough to maybe limit Easton McCullough in the Farmington show?
Honestly, I don't think enough is like the right word. I think it would come down to more so doing more than they do, right? Like we don't have to have enough, quote unquote, right? We just have to do enough.
Yeah.
And so I think if you can kind of go in with the game plan set, do what you came to do, right? I don't think you're going to be able to limit. This is why I'm kind of trying to dodge answering the question. If you kind of see,
Hmm.
I'm
I
trying to
like
get
it.
away
I
from
like it.
here. You're not going to be able to limit it, right? And so you're just gonna have to do what you can, right? Maybe if 3 people have to match that kind of input or that play, not necessarily the scoring, you're not going to have 3 people make up 10, 10, and 10 for her 30 that you kind of may
Yeah.
see her get, right? That you kind of may suspect she's capable of going to do that to us. And so let's try to hold her off of that. So I would say, no, you're not going to be able to limit it. Honestly, you go out there with your game plan, you stick to your game plan, and you hope theirs just doesn't work, right? You just keep them
Yeah.
off their game.
Yeah, and similar to the North Rock and Northside game, this feels like a state championship game as well. And the way the crowd's going to be for Farmington, the home crowd, Greene County Tech. I know it's on the other side of the state, but they travel really well. So I would be surprised to not see a good Greene County Tech turnout. I'm looking forward to seeing the not only the crowd but how this game turns out. On the
Yeah, I know
bottom
those
side,
fans. I was
on
gonna
the
say I know
bottom,
those fans got on the road as soon as that game, as soon as the buzzer went off. I know they booked their hotels and got on the road. You know, what I'm saying that game's gonna be at noon tomorrow. They will be over there ready and packed.
yeah. So we have the East one, the East two, the West one, and the West two left in the 5A girls.
Yeah, so a battle of the favorites here, obviously down the stretch from a couple of different conferences. This one's a toss up for me. I think obviously contrast to styles games make for some of the best games. I don't know if Nettleton might have run out of gas, with everything they had to do tonight. Um, Maybe they're riding on the high and they say, hey, we got that one done. There's nothing that can stop us now. So let's go ahead and get another one. We ain't got nothing to lose. Back against the wall. Let's keep swinging.
Yeah.
And I know Mountain Home's coming off a pretty confident win, knocking off the 1 seed in Valonia, who a lot of people had picked to kind of make it here instead of them. And so You got two teams kind of riding off confidence, one with the buzzer beater shot to win the game, one knocking off a one seed. This is going to be a clash. It'll be a good one to watch out for.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the 5A girls. That should be a good one. We're going to move to 4A girls. Again, let's fight the ads as much as we can. We have Robinson and P Ridge. This is one of those battle of experience versus the battle of the youngins.
No, 100% agree. Is that what Robinson is a 3 seed? I'm blind.
Yeah, they're the 3. PA was
Okay,
the
that's
1.
short.
Heber was
Yeah,
the
that's short.
2.
That's solid. That is definitely solid.
But I
Hey,
believe Robinson won their conference, so they're not your average 3 seed.
right. So they can speak to something right there. That'd be a good matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, P Ridge. They've had some tough battles for sure in their regional and against Heber. It'll be one to be interesting in. Robinson had a nice little upset win, so to say, but yeah. On the bottom side, we have Southside and Pulaski Academy. Southside's another team that is kind of riding the high after knocking off someone that a lot of people expected them not to. And PA has the experience; they've been there before. A lot of I think all of the girls actually, except for maybe a couple, has been in this type of environment before. So I don't know. I'll be
Yeah,
interested to see how this one pans out.
yeah. I think PA should take the win in this one. They'll probably be outmanned, outgunned, outmatched. And that's no knock to them. Great season for them, especially pushing through the way that they did. I just think that PA is a very formidable opponent that will find a way to win this game.
Yeah, I agree. And the potential of a PA and Robinson rematch, they split in the regular season, so that would be a fun one to see again.
Highly anticipated.
And I bet you it'd be a good crowd as well. Let's go to the 2A. It's gonna be Sloan Hendricks. Oh gosh, and Southside.
Did we
Southside's
just
riding high after beating someone that no one
did
expected them to.
did
Go
we
ahead.
just skip
Sorry.
3A? Did we skip 3A?
Did I? I might have. Sorry, I might have clicked the wrong one. I sure did. I sure did. Manila
Yeah,
and
gotta show some love.
go for it. You're the 3A guy. You've been there the last couple of days, the last day,
Yeah,
today or
no,
whatever.
Manila just another battle. Staying strong. That's the same old story. Literally, they're just sticking to the script. Greenland's going to be a tough out though. This is going to be a super dog fight. If I'm not mistaken, they played in the tournament last year. I do not remember who won that game. Give me a few seconds. No, I'm not. I'm not going to be able to find it in my.
How far is Manila from Osceola? It's pretty close, right? Not too far.
15 minutes. Yeah, probably
Yeah.
not
So
even.
we have a lot of local teams, right? The boys is what the boys have a local game as well.
Yep.
McGee and Mountain View. That'll be a fun
Yep.
one, man. Battle of 2 1 seeds. I'm rocking with Mountain View, but I don't know. What are your thoughts here?
Mountain View's got skill and McGee's got some athleticism and size. Mountain View does have a little bit of size as well. It'll be a tough out if McGee's trying to take out Mountain View. From one of the standpoints, like I say, with the scoring, it'll kind of come down to something like that. McGee's actually capable of scoring, but I think with the efficiency will be the problem in this game. Mountain View probably would hit more shots in this one and be able to take the win. But I do not 100% doubt McGee at all. Being able to come in, make this thing a fight all the way through the end of the game, and pull something out late.
We're gonna move to 2A now. I guess before I just couldn't wait to get to 2A girls. Sloan Hendricks and Southside.
Yeah.
Southside's riding high here, and they knocked off the home team in front of a packed crowd in a thriller of a game. They have another tough opponent. No other way to put it.
I think Sloan Hendricks would take the win in this one. If you look at there, right there, they put up 80 in the first round.
Yeah.
So if you're capable of putting up those points, they put up 53 on a very good Barton team and battled with that team defensively as well. So when you combine those two games back to back in the playoffs, if you combine those two games, you're going to come out and score 70 and hold a team to 40, and you're going to have a big win in this round if you combine those two games.
Dirks and Clipman, this might be the game of the day in the small school girls.
Yep. Will be a great game. Like I said, we've been talking about Dirks. with their scoring outputs and their ability to play together as a team. And we also know Quitman to be a tough group. They play very well as a team. Their crowd travels really well, so I know they'll be packed in the building. This will be a tough game. Great environment for this one.
We'll move to 1A girls. It'll be West Side versus Norfolk. Battle of the two lakes. I got
Yep,
Lake Norfolk and Battle of Gross Ferry Lake.
yep. So what you
It,
got? What you thinking?
I'm thinking West Side here. They're really good. It feels like the West Side and Earl rematch is inevitable. Honestly, we got Earl and Viola. I don't know. Do you feel any differently than that?
No, this will be one of the upsets of all time if Earl gets knocked off in that game. I'm not
Yeah,
extremely familiar with Norfolk this year, so I know West Side's going to be very tough. I'm familiar with them from last season as well, and
yeah,
so
yeah. We will move over to the boys' side. You want to start with 6A or start with 1A? You decide.
let's go one. Let's go one.
All right. I think we have CRA. Yeah, CRA and Clarendon. So a team
Yeah,
from
this
your
will
area.
be
Yeah,
Yep, this will be kind of a battle of once again
your styles.
contrasting styles. Yep, contrasting styles. Clarendon's gonna have some athletes that like to run and gun, but that's where CRA catches a lot of people off guard. They actually get out and run and gun with you just as well as they can kind of settle up in the half court. They will really catch you off guard. Very sneaky team. I would not be surprised to see them win this game. Clarendon come out and make it a battle though. This will be a good one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Earl and Jasper. Yeah, so the boys and the girls will be playing back to back. It'll be a packed house for sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking Earl's just going to outscore Jasper. I don't think defense will be a huge factor in this one. I think they'll just kind of 50 to
Yeah,
60 game possibly, or maybe even Earl just takes off and gets kind of a big lead. That's not to say anything that like Jasper's a slouch or anything. I just don't think that they'll have the scoring efficiency late down the stretch of the game to kind of keep up with the firepower of the Bulldogs. So we should probably be seeing a trip for Earl boys and girls back to High Springs, man, for consecutive years.
yeah, it's crazy how good that program is and how they just keep making it there. It's just a team you can almost circle in the preseason and just expect to see them there
Hey,
year in
7
and
0,
year out.
Northeast Arkansas, baby.
England and Barton. This will be a fun one.
Definitely. One of the most anticipated matchups of the season in general, like even the regular season, the time that they, met, and then just here a while ago when they met again, and then just now again where they're about to meet up. So this will be a great one to see. They got the 1:30 game, so very prime time game, fresh legs, good, get up in the morning, get some breakfast in you, get right, get your head right, get the game plan together. You know, this will be one that will have very, very, very big implications, I think, on the winner of the conference.
Sloan Hendricks and Mount Vernon and Nola. I wouldn't overlook either one of them as well. I mean, the fun answer is to pick one of these to win the game, to win the title. But this bottom half is pretty good.
Yep, for sure. I'm speaking on experience as well when I speak about the top half
Yeah,
of the bracket, not to overlook the bottom half as well. Like I just said, I was at the game last week when Mount Vernon and Enola actually beat Barton for the regional championship. And so definitely not sleeping on them at all. Noah Watson's a beast for them. He's been going crazy. They've got, I can only remember his nickname. His number 24. They call him Hair Jordan. He wears the
hmm.
headbands, got real long, nice hair from Mount Vernon and Enola. He's a stud. And then for Sloan Hendricks, I think we've said it a few times here. You got Hudson Rourke over there. You've also got Dallas Durham, two guards that can get out there, play well off of each other. You also got a couple seniors over there that help get the job done for Sloan. So this will not be a slouch game at all on the bottom half of the bracket, and it won't be a walk once they get to the finals versus whoever is at the top of the bracket. I just think a lot of people, myself included, have the winner of that top game to kind of push through in Hot Springs. I think they have a lot of the experience, like I said, and then the failure, not necessarily failures, but not reaching the successful state or the level where you wanted to push yourself or see yourself last season will be enough to kind of fuel you over the line once you get there.
Let's move to the 3A. I know you're looking forward to for sure one of these games. I'd like to hear your thoughts on the other one. We have Bergman and Newport. This is the other one of the two.
Yeah, so I actually like both games. Like I say, I get a chance to coach Tavares Hardaway, the starting point guard at Newport, especially we'll be having a big summer here coming up soon for Arkansas Assault. Bergman is going to be a formidable opponent. I've said it before. Coach Bo Martin knows what he's doing over there. I mean, he's got those guys locked in. You got Hayden Jones, who's going to be a problem. You got Jace Holt at the guard spot. He's going to make things difficult as well. He plays both ways. Really active kid. He was there on that championship run team they had a few seasons ago as well. And so he's got experience as well as Hayden does. They will not come out and lay down. Newport also has Jetson Russell. So you'll see a little bit of battle of size inside. Jetson's probably 6'6", give or take. And like I say as well for Hayden Jones, near 7-footer. That'll be a good game, good clash in 3A.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one, but I'm more so excited for this one. Rivercrest and Osceola. It's going to be a jam packed, no empty seats game for sure.
Yeah, this game's at 7:30. I guarantee if you're not there by like 4:30, you're gonna be stuck looking crazy. Like there is that series. This will be a great game. This will be a packed atmosphere. Rivercrest knocked them off last time they just met, and so this is a huge rivalry game. Osceola will be licking their chops to get some get back.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one, and I'm gonna be looking out for the things you're in the group chat. You talking about it for sure. We'll slide to 4A. We have Hall and Shiloh Christian. This is a kind of a contrast in styles game to an extent. I think both teams kind of like to slow it down, maybe not turn the ball over as much. Shiloh likes to get up and down a little bit, but Hall's really they're coached well. Shiloh's coached well. They don't lose very often, so it's a little bit of history against maybe a newer history, so to say.
Yeah, no, I like this game a lot. This one will be it'll have a really good feel. It'll have a mature feel. You got a couple of seniors on both sides, so it won't be a lot of sloppy plays. I feel like it won't be a lot of hurried plays, bad shots early into the shot clock, unless kind of that's what the system or the style or maybe the game plan's about for that game. But I feel like this will be a very methodical game, like you said. Both teams will be able to get into half court sets, and we'll see some really good basketball. It might be low scoring affair, maybe. To the point of just a tempo or a pace, maybe not due to defensive strategies necessarily, but good one. I'm thinking it'll be a good one. I'll be locked in for this one.
It feels like the first one to maybe a 53 wins the game.
Somewhere around there, I agree.
That's gonna be my line.
If you cross 60, you probably got it by far.
Yeah, yeah. This right here is a Magnolia and Mills. This is like that nostalgic, game that for years this was just the title. You knew it was going to be the title before the season even started. We haven't seen it in a while. There's a lot of history here between these two teams. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely will be a clash. I know Mills, obviously, we just talked about the depth. If you know anything about them all season long, especially towards the end of the season, they've grown so much together as a group and shared the duties and responsibilities across the court from every facet on both sides of the ball. So that'll be tough to come in and knock off, whatsoever. Magnolia's done a great job turning around from taking a first-round L last season and picking the program back up to where we kind of know Magnolia to be. Great job for Coach Wade over there. He'll have his hands full in this one meeting Mills. And I know he's studying. I know he's game planning. He's probably up right now still locking in, right? And so I can guarantee that this game will have some action for sure. First half will be something to for sure lock into.
Yeah, and it was kind of dawned on me whenever you said that, the whole game plan thing. You know, Hall has an advantage, right? They in that top half, they had the extra day of rest, number one, and then they saw their opponent early on. They saw them play,
Right.
at that I guess it was the 2:30 game, so they had all day to kind of prepare. Magnolia's probably scrambling right now, and probably so is Coach Coop. They I don't know. It's an interesting thing to think about how advantages and whatnot. I guess they have all day tomorrow to kind of think about it, but still,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting.
It's definitely something to put into perspective, like I say, and those kind of tidbits. Just I give a little insight from obviously having a little bit of experience as a coach and seeing those type of situations play out at hand. But it does make for an interesting, to say the least, situation when you head into the game.
Let me ask you this to stay on this topic. Since you're a coach, which would you rather? Would you rather have the 1:30 game or the 7:30 game?
Honestly, it's not me. It's depending on the group of boys I got. Um, I'm I honestly don't have like a preference. I don't like the 9:30 game. I don't want the first game on the sheet either. So like if the first game of the day, which is not, is at 12, was that game, I probably wouldn't want that game. That's just kind of like a personal preference. But I
Yeah,
think it's depending on the group of guys that I got, whether they kind of wake up early and they're ready to go get in, legs are fresh, or they're more of a group where they want to get kind of through the day, you know,
yeah,
simple.
yeah. It's interesting. I was curious what you were going to say there
Me as
about
a
the idea of
player, Me as a player, give me the 1:30 game. I did not
I'd
like
rather
night
get it
games
over with
where,
instead of sitting and thinking about it all day long and getting
yeah, and then
nervous.
watching other teams play and be like, man, your brain gets so frazzled, too much basketball. Maybe sometimes
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I definitely would want the 1:30 game as a player.
So I said this earlier. The 5A is it's interesting. You got nothing but one seeds, and it's kind of chalky. So it might be hard for some to pick. What are your thoughts here? This is a contrast of styles for sure. This is probably the contrast of styles if you're ever going to have a contrast of styles. What are you thinking here?
Coaching chess match, bro. This is gonna be one of the best games. Probably if not the best game of the day. I'm gonna just go throw that label out there real quick. There are a lot of great matchups, and it's kind of hard to really put your thumb down on one. But from the way that I look at basketball and that I like to see, I know a lot of people just look at it from a highlight standpoint and a fan standpoint, and that's definitely fine. It's not to say that you're right and I'm wrong, or you're wrong and I'm right, and whatever. Just me knowing that the coaching efforts that will be put into this one is making me almost cheese right now. I'm almost thirsty for it, man. So it'll be a great game tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You hit the nail right on the head with Sammy Lewis and Johnny Taylor. It's two of the best coaches we have in the entire state. So I don't know the athleticism against a team that might maybe. I mean, Farmington's the sneaky athletic team, really. I don't
Yes.
know. I'm excited for it. I really am. Like I think you said it best. This might be the game of the day, but I wouldn't overlook this one either. Yeah, Benton and Parkview. This is a team. This is a matchup. I think they played earlier this season, if I'm not mistaken. I think Parkview may have won.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Parkview pulled off big in that one. I think they caught him slipping. Let me make sure I'm not lying. Now I do know that this is one of the most highly anticipated games. Yeah, they lost to Parkview. Parkview caught them slipping by 5 points, 79-84,
Yeah,
November 29th. So this will be a bit of a get back game for Benton. A chance to kind of make it back to that fateful Hot Springs trip that they took last year, and were able to kind of capture that title for Saline County. But Parkview and Jacob Lanier, like we just got through talking about, they are standing dead in the way of that mission, and it'll be some experience. Obviously, we know there's a ton of seniors over there for Parkview, and then some young guys who also have the experience, right? They're just a little bit younger. And so maybe they don't have as much experience, but it's not like they're inexperienced. Um, this one will come down to some X's and O's for sure as well. Some adjustments being made on both sides, and then maybe if you can kind of game plan and get one side in foul trouble, or just kind of get somebody going and get the hand high early to kind of keep things in a certain situation. This game will come down to a lot of discipline for the young men in it, though. There's going to be a lot of energy and a lot of emotions going on in this one, and so as long as they keep cool, keep their heads right, listen to the game plan, go out there and execute, that will be who wins. The team who makes the least mistakes in this one. Kind of cliche saying, but be pretty sure
I
that's the way
think that Osceola game is probably the best game in this time slot, but this definitely uh, has a claim to that title. I don't know. I'm looking forward to this one for sure.
I know the cameras will be out for this one. Obviously, we got the names in this one for sure. The faces in that one, the
Yeah,
cameras will be out.
yeah, for sure. We have Central and North Little Rock. I
Last but not
growing
least,
up
man, the top of the totem pole. Last but not least, the top of the totem pole. What we got, Nick?
growing up at North Little Rock, this is a game. This is the rivalry in the state of Arkansas. There's a lot of rivalries, but this is the one. And maybe I'm a little bit biased when I say that, but they say this is the best rivalry in the state for a reason, and it's really cool to see this. Maybe have another page of the chapter in the state semifinals. There's so much history in this rivalry game. It dates back long before me. I'm looking forward to it. I think a lot of people would see the seed line, the 4 seed versus the 2, and just automatically chalk it up to the 2. But when you have such a rivalry game, it's hard to pick it. Central's a team that's clicking at the right time. They upset the 1 seed Harbor. They beat Bentonville. This isn't a team to sleep on. They're not the typical 4 seed. I'm super excited for this one, and honestly, if I had to pick it, I don't have to pick it, thankfully, because I don't know who I would pick.
Yeah, just echoing off what you said, that 4 seed is very, very misleading when it comes to them. We talked about it multiple times on this show, on these past couple of episodes as well overall. But that team is so stacked and so loaded, and it's not just like a piece here or there. It's 2 or 3 in every class, all the way from probably the freshman class up to the senior class for sure.
Yeah.
When you're looking at those guys and you see that, that 4 seed, like I say, is very, very, very misleading. Now, that's not to say that North Little Rock's 2 seed is just very overwhelming, overpowering, because it's almost misleading itself if you look at the regular season record and some of the ups and downs that they had as well as the team. No knock to them. They're riding high right now, and I think they'll do a great job in this game. This is going to be one heck of a clash. Like you said, one of the biggest, most storied rivalries here that we have in Arkansas high school basketball overall, and this is just another great chapter.
Let's move on to Bryant and Fayetteville. This Fayetteville team is I don't know. I don't know what to think of them, honestly. They kind of, I wouldn't say they got lucky necessarily with Leighton being out, but they definitely caught a break. Fayetteville was a team that was kind of up and down throughout the season, so it's really hard to pick. I think you don't know what to expect from them is the problem. If they're on, they're tough to beat. But the problem is they're playing against Bryant, who seems to always be on. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, no, I think the guard play will be key in this one. As long as Kamarian B does what Kamarian B normally does, I think Bryant will cruise to a victory. Not cruise necessarily, but they won't have a very, very tough win. It won't be very, very tough. Might be decent, might be tough, but they'll probably pull away second half. And that's if just CB's clicking on all cylinders. Obviously, you can't just expect that from any kid, right? And that's a lot of pressure to kind of just be putting on him as one person. But it's not just on him alone. They have a very good core around him as well. So that's why I say as long as he's doing what he's doing, I'm pretty sure that he makes everyone else better, as we pretty much know him to do. But I'm pretty sure as long as he's doing what he's doing, things will fall in line for the rest of the group. And if that is the case, I don't see Fayetteville having enough at the guard spot to match. They have some good guys for sure, but they have some young guys as well, especially out up front. And I don't think they'll be able to match that size and that physicality and the athleticism.
You heard it here. I appreciate everyone for tuning in and listening to us talk ball and preview and recap the state tournament. Vic, this is probably our last recap of this state tournament, so I appreciate you for us hopping on and doing this. I guess our next video will be the normal preview show, talking about the state tournament, state finals. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds about right for me. Yeah, I'm like 90% sure. I don't have anything else kind of planned out as far as what we need to get to. We'll have a bunch of stuff coming up here in the days coming up to the finals. And then obviously be keeping you guys posted on what we'll be doing for after the season or for the off season, so to speak. But we appreciate all you guys tuning in again, once again, every night, man. You guys are what keeps us going every morning when we get up and we drop these recaps and everything gets rolling. We appreciate all the feedback and all the support that we get. So we can't do what we do without you guys. Appreciate everybody making Big Miller Events what it is. And we'll look to keep this thing rolling for y'all till next time.
Yeah, be sure to like and subscribe.